Now we are going to put the scapular groups back into place. You can see this little hollowed out area in the hackle, which is right here. I know it's kind of hard to see on the camera because this is a dark area on the turkey. What we're going to be doing is taking our scapular group and folding it back into place. Because we loosen it all up, we have control of it. We need to fluff it out though a little bit before we pull it back into place. So we're going to be taking some of our rugging batting. This is the same stuff that we used in the wings. Going to tear off some pieces. You don't need a ton of this in there, just a little bit. It fluffs back up after you shove it in. So we're making a bed for the scapular groups to lay on. And you could say the box spring of that bed is the fiber fluff, and the mattress is going to be silicone, if I could put it in those terms. Kind of push it under. You can kind of see it's fluffing out nicely now in the look we want. Now we're going to put some silicone on here. We're going to be putting this directly on top of the fiber fluff or batting we just put down. We're going to be completely covering that area with it. We don't have to put a lot of it in there, just enough to completely cover it. You want to get a little bit of this too onto the humerus bone, which is running right next to that fluff. Okay, you can see what that looks like. A little bit more just up in this corner right here. Okay. Now we are going to take our grooming tool. We're going to start up close to the panda feathers behind the head. We're just going to grab onto the scapular group and pull it up and then push that skin in. We're just going to keep working it up like that. Okay, you can see the basic look we have. Now we just need to go through the scapular group and groom it. And I like to start at the base of the scapular group right here and groom back. Because we pulled it up onto our silicone, the silicone is holding this in place now and allowing us to do our grooming work. You basically want the ends of this to not go past the end of the humerus bone or fall around that. Because this bird is in a full strut angled down, it's good for these scapular groups to be slightly angled upward. That's what you want. You don't want these angling way down and back. Now we have all of the scapular group feathers lined up. As you can see, they're not interfering with the hackle feathers. They're on the outside of the hackle feathers. This particular turkey has a very large and mature set of scapular feathers. As you can see here, they go way back, which is nice. Quite often you won't have them with scapular group feathers this nice. So I like to show those off by really spreading them out. I have them puffed up quite a bit as well when I made my bed to lay them into. I like to do that because it makes the turkey look a little bit bigger. A lot of times when turkeys are strutting, they'll have these shingled out, and this would allow you to do that if you wanted to. Sometimes if you look at reference pictures of strutting turkeys, they're a little more flattened in. The reference picture you're looking at on your screen right now shows them a little more flattened in than mine, but I do like to make them puffed out a little bit more like this. It's completely up to you. Now we'll flip it around and work on the other side. Okay, we've been working on the scapular groups on the right side of our turkey. This is the opposite side of the one we did on video. This is the side that has some of the damage on it. Took a little bit longer to get them where I wanted them. They are missing some feathers on this scapular group, and they're chewed up a little bit from shot damage and from the broken wing. But you can basically see the profile I have. They're slightly moving up and curving back just a little bit. That's what you want to see for a full strut. You can also see the distance between the major carnacle and the start of the scapular group. That's as far as you want. You don't want them any further back than that. The last feathers of the scapular group should be lined up with the humerus and ulna and radius joint. We'll just flip it back a little bit so you can look at it head on. You can see what they look like. They should be matching up as close as you can on both sides. Again, if you have a bird with damage like this one on this side, it can be difficult to make them look the same, especially if it's missing feathers. But you want them to get as close as possible. You also want these lines to be nice and neat here. You don't want to be seeing any skin or any fluff along those lines.